Hey everybody, ronarray here, and as you know, GGG buffed Strongboxes in patch 0.2G. And since I did a pretty decent Strongbox farming test before, showcasing how much currency you can receive from them and how well Strongboxes are even spawning in your maps, I think right now, after the patch, that's the perfect moment to pretty much do the test again. So we're going to use the same methodology in that test, and I'm going to showcase results before the patch and after the patch for Strongboxes, like how much currency we're going to drop from them, how many Strongboxes are going to spawn, and stuff like that. Let's go. So for that test, I'm going to farm 60 maps with Strongboxes again, with a very dedicated atlas for Strongboxes, taking all the small passives for Strongboxes too, for the same amount of chance to get a Strongbox as I did before. As another note, I'm also not taking boss point here with Old Pirate Trick. I know it could be a great bonus when you're farming Strongboxes, but since I did the previous test without Old Pirate Trick, I think it would be absolutely logical that I'm right now not going to take that. And another thing, I think if you're farming Strongboxes and focusing on that, ecological shift could be a very good way too. But considering the previous test been done without it, and I think ecological shift can hurt other mechanics, such as ritual for example, or breach, or expedition, or whatever you are farming, I think taking it for that test would be a little too far of a reach. However, if you want to focus only on Strongboxes, I heavily recommend to take both ecological shift and Old Pirate Trick to just raise the amount. And you will be able to still use the results of that test, showcasing just how much currency per how much Strongboxes you can expect. And we're also taking another good thing such as Faith in Luck. Its Strongboxes in your maps has 50% chance to be openable twice. Every time when my Strongbox is opened twice, I'm going to count it 2 times for the test, as I did before. So it's not really happening that often, but could affect the results. And we're also taking Research Plunder, obviously, for Strongboxes in your maps has 150% increased chance to be Research Strongboxes. And since we're taking Hidden Horrors, I'm going to calculate all the drop from rare monsters protecting the Strongbox as a part of the Strongbox itself, so it's going to be added to the whole amount. And the rest of my setup is pretty much basic. I'm just taking explicit modifiers, I'm taking bonuses for precursor tablets and stuff like that. And now let's talk about results and what I received. Previously, I did 60 maps and I did 60 maps again. In the previous test, I received 99 boxes in 60 maps, and right now I received 94 boxes in 60 maps, which is a little smaller, but I think it's pretty much random, the chance is jumpy. But Strongboxes are spawning very often, like every map there's at least one Strongbox, and pretty often there are like at least 2. Most of the time you can't open them twice, and I think I got opening twice only a few times. Out of 94 Strongboxes, 36 been research boxes, and in the previous test it's been 29, so I received a little more research Strongboxes this time around, but I honestly think it's just a fluctuation of numbers and it's not really telling us a lot. But 36 research boxes against 29 is going to provide a very interesting comparison in terms of currency. In the previous test, I also received 3 unique Strongboxes, which has been a pretty good number, because in that new test I received only 1 unique Strongbox, and that's been a pretty bad one. It dropped me absolutely nothing, and I think the RNG right now to get unique Strongboxes not really nice, and those are not going to spawn very often. Talking about the rest of the setup, in the previous test I received only 31 exalted orbs, so 0.5, like half an exalted per every map, which in my opinion wasn't that good, so I wasn't recommending touching Strongboxes in any way. But in that test, literally almost everything changed. Because previously, since I got 29 researches and 31 exalteds, it's been like 1 exalt per research. Right now, I received 48 exalteds. and 15 chaoses from all the Strongboxes together. 15 chaoses right now, it's 75 exalts approximately, which leads to 123 exalts during the whole test. And I think that number is very big, because it's about 4 times higher than it's been before. Mostly because right now Strongboxes are dropping chaoses pretty often, and I think chaos is the main reason why all the profit went up. As you probably noticed, I received only 48 pure basic exalts compared to 31 exalts before, so amount of exalts is improved, but it's about like 50% more approximately. But the amount of chaoses jump up significantly. In the previous test, I've been calculating additional currencies such chaoses or annulments as a part of exalted drops, and almost no basic currency dropped. But that time around, whoa, 15 chaoses is pretty good. And I also dropped a little amount of basic currency and decent amount of regals and currency like that. So 123 exalted is much better, and 4 times better than we had it before. I think right now boxes are providing very good results compared to what we had in the previous patch, but is it even enough? Since I did 60 maps and I received 123 exalts in the end if I would sell all my chaoses for them, I think it's basically 2 exalts per map. So I don't really think it's that amazing, but it's very steady and very stable. So Strongboxes right now could be a very nice additional mechanic or league starting mechanic when you're just starting around and you're going to receive some additional currency from it. I also think like utilizing something such as pirate trick to get more Strongboxes, or even utilizing ecological shift could be a very good way to raise amount of currency that you're currently receiving. And I think theoretically it could even double my results on 60 maps. So, in my opinion right now, Strongboxes are pretty much in the middle. They're not too amazing to heavily overinvest in them, but you can still invest if you enjoy it as a supportive mechanic. There have been also multiple people who told me that they dropped exalteds together with like divines from boxes. But unfortunately, I've been unable to drop a single divine myself and just can't confirm it. I think theoretically it's obviously possible, so some people will drop divines, but genuinely in my opinion the chance right now is pretty low, so I wouldn't take Strongboxes while expecting divines. However, after 60 maps I still received at least 1 divine and basic currency, which in my opinion is pretty nice. And another point that I wanted to comment on, while farming all of that, I've been also receiving decent amount of rares from the Strongboxes, and most of them wasn't that good and I've been just unable to sell them, but I think there's also a theoretical chance that you will drop a very good rare and it can lead to better profit. So is Strongboxes an amazing mechanic right now? I don't really think so, and I would recommend to invest in it only if you are enjoying it, because otherwise I think results are not that high and there are better mechanics to invest in them. So just getting pack size together with additional bonuses for your maps is probably going to be better on average. But you can still take it if you feel like a little additional currency here and there would help you out. And I think the whole patch, on the other hand, improved the amount of currency very significantly and made Strongboxes, if not amazing, but at least viable. Because when we had less than 1 exalted per map while doing Strongboxes, that's been very bad. And right now, I think it's much closer to what you would expect when you're taking an additional mechanic while running maps. So I don't really think the situation with Rogue Exiles changed significantly. I will probably test the Wisps later on separately, but I feel like out of all mechanics that you can add to your maps except basic ones, just something such as Strongbox, such as Essence, Rogue Exiles or Wisps, I really feel like Strongboxes are currently providing most value and like highest amount of currency per your hour and per your map. So it could be enjoyable for some people and right now could be recommended just as an additional mechanic. Thank you very much for watching and I hope at least you will drop some divines from your boxes. Let me know in the comments how it went for you, if you dropped anything good, And do you think it's enough to make Strongboxes good and reliable way to farm? And ronarray out.